I should say that any football fan watching at home that thinks they've had a stressful night watching that, they should try being Mick Gannon at Fir Park. Mick.
Honestly, Keith just asked a question, where's it end? It ends in me in therapy. That's where it ends. When you get a 1,000-word match report, it's got to be sent at 10 o'clock, and it's 30 seconds to 10, and the entire title race gets tipped on its head with a 99th minute penalty kick for a VAR call, which nobody's got a Scooby about. Let's just say it's a challenge. What an incredible night, incredible season. I mean, drama. I mean, genuinely, you could not script the way this is unfolding this season. I mean, I'm absolutely gobsmacked at what we've seen here. Right? I mean, a night it turned twisted and turned all night, and then that at the end. I mean, genuinely, I just wrote. I think a phrase I used was bone shuddering drama. And that's what it felt like. It feels like my bones are shuddering.
Mick, honestly, right? I'm sitting here now. I know you're at Fir Park. I'm sitting here. I'm flicking. I've never done anything like it in my life before. I'm flicking in between the two games constantly. You can't actually get watching one of the games because there's so much going on. Every time I flicked over, I just flicked over in time. I had one of those lucky nights. Flicked over in time to see the next goal or the next bit of drama. Oh my word! I mean, the second half, obviously, the most of the interest was at Fir Park, just because Hearts were on top. But you know, at one point tonight, obviously, when Motherwell take that early lead, Hearts just need to win their game, and they've won the title. And when they went 2-0 up at home to Falkirk, you just thought, well, points are in the bag here. What's happening at Celtic? Motherwell get the late equaliser. Again, everyone swings because at that point, Hearts just need to avoid a doing on the last day of the season at Celtic Park to win the title. And then we get the drama at the end. And by the way, we're going to be talking about this for days. I mean, just as well, the game's coming up on Saturday. Because see, if we had 2 weeks, every day we'd be talking about the decision-making that's going on at Fir Park tonight. And I think there's two big issues. I think that Motherwell are really unlucky, and I don't understand why VAR didn't look at it. I think they had a really strong penalty claim when Slattery goes down. Now, see, at full speed, Mick, probably you'll think that as well. At full speed, it looks as if Slattery's feet have just gone from under him. He's slipped.
Yeah.
When Sky showed a couple of replays, McGregor catches him, and Slattery's raging about it, and I don't think VAR looked at it. If they did, nobody said anything about it. And then right at the death, and the basically the last kick of the ball, Ian Atkill scores the penalty kick. And I don't know. I've looked at that. Dan and I were talking. We don't know, was it given for an elbow by Sam Nicholson and Austin Trusty? Was it given for handball?
I think it was the handball, Keith. I think so.
I think it was handball. I think it's we managed to catch a few clips in between pulling the pants off my head at that point. There's a hint of it. I think handball's the call, but it's going to be one that's going to be controversial. There's no doubt about it, especially given the circumstances.
I tell you why.
I thought the Slattery ones. I thought he slipped. I mean, look, the motion that he did. I thought it looked as though he slipped as well.
He was.
I've only seen it once. So
he was slipping, but McGregor then whips. He's kind of standing leg away as he's going down. Listen, I don't know if it was a penalty or not, to be perfectly honest, but there was contact, and I was surprised that it wasn't scrutinised a little bit more forensically.
Yeah.
That one, the handball, I'll tell you why there's going to be such an issue. Two reasons. Well, one, obviously, the nature of it and the moment that it came in, but the two major reasons for that incident. Trusty's kind of shoulder is underneath. We think it's Sam Nicholson. Yep. Sam Nicholson's kind of arm, and Trusty's movement brings Nicholson's arm up. Then there's this sort of the contact when Nicholson's pulling his arm back, but his hand comes up here. If it doesn't hit his hand, it goes straight onto his forehead. I think there's this is going to rage, by the way. I'll wait to see what the manager say afterwards, but this is going to absolutely rage with controversy.
I couldn't understand why his hand would be there. I don't know why his hand's there to be in that area. So I'm not sure.
He's going for leverage, Mick, but Trusty's body kind of comes up and it brings his arm up. And then basically his hand is there. It's not as if the ball's not there. He's if the hand's not there, and the hand is probably there because of Trusty's body movement, he's just going to head it clear. I think. Listen, what did we say a few days ago? Please, please, please don't let this be decided, or let major decision making have to come into this. Because
listen, it was all
guys are capable of it.
It was always going to be this. I mean, we saw right before half time, Martin Neal was doing his dinger about the Dyson Maida clash with Callum Ward. The one that bizarrely Arnie Engels thinks that it's a foul.
Yeah.
And he just casually nudged it onto the bar. And the whistle hadn't gone. So it would have been a goal. And everyone's standing about watching it. It ended up in a drop ball. And VAR has a look at it for a potential penalty kick. That's another moment. I think there's going to be an argument there. It could have been an argument. This would now take over that one, obviously.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just in terms of a night, the talk points and turning points, I mean, in the name of the wee man, Celtic, I thought, Motherwell thought Celtic did the game better. We were doing a job on Celtic again, got the goal. Big trouble. At that point, Hearts are coasting, and it looks like Celtic are dead and buried. But in fairness, they dragged themselves back. I mean, by the way, this Celtic team looked dead on their feet. But they looked dead on their feet. I mean, I looked at Arthur Johnson early in the second half, looked as if he'd completely done his tank. Cal McGregor, at one point, looked as though he was exhausted. Then he ran 60 yards, won a ball, then ran 50 yards the other direction into the box. You're thinking, this is just sheer will. This is just sheer bloody determinism and bloody mindness. And they get ahead. I mean, Negan scores a fantastic second goal. And for 5-10 minutes, I think Celtic are comfortable and looked as though. So I start writing my intro. all roads lead to Saturday. And then there's a 5-minute spell when Celtic just collapsed and Motherwell turned it on. And Celtic made a few changes and didn't get their shape right. Motherwell capitalised and the pressure was building. The keeper had a couple of saves and then the goal comes and Celtic looked completely kaput. So at that point, you're thinking, right, now it's not quite helicopter Sunday, but it's not far off it. Because Celtic now, Hearts are now 3 ahead. So you're thinking this is now going to be Celtic needing a miracle on Saturday. And then somehow they summon up the energy to go attack for the last 9 minutes of stoppage time and then get the goal.
Honestly, I mean, see at that point, see when Motherwell get it to 2-2, you're actually looking at it. I'm thinking about, from your perspective, trying to write a match report, I'm thinking, I need to hold off here because it looks like Motherwell could get a third. At that moment in time, in that period of the game, you'd actually fancy Motherwell to go and win the match. Well,
at that stage, I'm literally, I've got 3 different scenarios. I'm like Jean-Michel Jarre, typing 3 different scenarios at the one time. I've got one hand, one laptop, one hand, and my tongue banging another one. So I get 3 different scenarios all at the same time. And people wonder why. And I'm only 24. I just look like this because of this job. But at that point, you're right. At that point, Motherwell were far stronger, far superior, and Celtic looked out on their feet and looked as though they're feeling sorry for themselves at that point. Yeah. But they somehow got. I mean, listen, I know there's controversy and I know there's twists and turns, but I think at this stage now, you've got to tip your hat. I mean, listen, I think you've got to commend Hearts tonight going and winning 3-0 like that. I mean, sensational. And I mean, that's no matter what happens now, Hearts have given us a thrill ride that they should be commended and applauded. And all the rest of it. But I think also you've got to say, listen, this Celtic team has got its faults, has got its flaws and its weaknesses, we know it, but you cannot question the commitment and desire and effort they're putting in. You've got, out there tonight, you've got Engels, McGregor, you've got Arthur Johnson. None of these guys are fully fit and they're running themselves. Yang, who ran himself into the ground last week and Sunday, done it again, and I don't think it was great.